Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 2, and today I'm going to be giving you part 33 of What If Naruto Learned the Clone's Secret in the Beginning. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Unlock a Strange Power in the Beginning on this channel, and enjoy guys. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mage over an Anime King. So go over there and enjoy it as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, Shizuka wanted to help Naruto and Tenten relationship because she saw that Tenten was, well, angry at Naruto and it was causing her displeasure to see his friends angry at him. So, she spoke to Tenten. She had a way. Tenten couldn't really understand what she truly wants from Naruto anymore. So, Shizuka had a plan when they met up back. Meanwhile, Naruto went as he found all of the slaves as they were on the boat. He went inside as he rescued all of the Kunoichi as they were acting like they were dazed. But once the head Kunoichi told them to relax, that he's here to save them, they all got back into fighting position as he break her out. As they break out the others as well. Some other girls were stuck in the underground as Naruto and the Kunoichis took over the boat because these guys were just bandits and they didn't stand a chance. As Naruto went down there alone as he killed the assistant woman, as he grabbed the son of Gato and tortured the man for the information. It seems that the man had trading and slave business all over. The Kunoichis managed to wrap everything up as Naruto freed all of the girls. Many of them were traumatized as he brought them back to the land of Wave. As they explained the situation, the rest of them will have to stay on the boat, as one of the fishermen told Naruto that the new owner of Gato Shipping Company, he would deal with the girls, he will make sure that all of them get back home. And from what the man has done, Naruto trusts him. So with that, they stay at Tazuna's house for a night, as Naruto was sharing a room with Shizuka. Tenten was there as well, which surprised him, as Shizuka told them that the three of them are going to be sleeping together. Naruto was shocked as he asked Tenten if she was okay with this, as she told him that she wanted to try. She was confused about her feelings after all. So the three of them slept together, and things really changed. Returning back to Konoha, Tenten, she changed, as her feelings for Naruto were still there, a lot. So she usually started to come over at his house as the both of them sleep together, as Naruto figured that she might be getting quite addicted to it, but he didn't mind one bit because he enjoyed it as well. As they spent the remaining time like that, because it was Naruto time off the break that he was having, until Jiraiya came to visit. Jiraiya found the leader of the Akatsuki hideout. It was at the Hidden Rain, as he wanted Naruto to assist him. So with that, they made their way, as Natty told the both of them to be careful, as Naruto told her that the both of them will. So with that, they headed off, as they made their way towards the Hidden Rain as they start to gather information. That was until Naruto heard explosions as he made his way, but he was attacked by Konan. After clashing against Konan, he made his way, as Konan made her way over to the battle site as well. As Naruto was surprised to see Jiraiya missing one arm, Naruto quickly sprang into action as he attacked and blew away the pains that were attacking Jiraiya, as the both of them pressed their back against each other, surrounded by the 6 paths of pain, who wanted to take the 9 tails from Naruto and also kill Jiraiya. So yeah guys, that was basically that's what I left off. You guys can switch across and play and check it out for yourself. So what is to begin this new episode? Summoning Jutsu. The summoning pain slammed his hand right in the water. A massive creature that came out of the smoke. This guy has a summoning contract with rhinos? No one answered Naruto as the rhino charged towards him. Naruto created a clone as he dived under the water. The clone rushed forward and grabbed the thing by its horn. The clone skid along the waters, but his muscles bulged as he stopped the thing in his track. At that same moment, Rasengan! Naruto exploded right underneath Rhino, smashed the Rasengan into his stomach. His jutsu tore through the creature like he was made of paper, as he drilled straight through it. Now dead, the creature poofed away. While Naruto destroyed the Rhino, one of Naruto's clones that he sent in a hiding spot emerged, rushing towards summoning Pain. He appeared behind the Pain, Winston, Rasengan, as he thrust this towards the Pain back. But before he could actually hit the man, one of the other Pains jumped forward. The Pain then rips out your life, as he took the attack right in him. Seeing that the absorption Pain wasn't over here, Jiraiya was dealing with him and Naruto was just that much faster for him to not turn around just in time. The summoning Pain then speak through hand sign once again. Summoning Jutsu, he said. Naruto narrowed his eyes when his clone was dispelled. He couldn't see what killed it, but he saw two different summoning animals when the smoke cleared. The first one was an ox, and the next one was a dog. The ox rushed forward as a dog, circling Naruto. Naruto charged a large portion of wind chakra into his fist, before he thrust the fist out right into the ox's face, smashed it with a great force of wind, as he fired off another one that snapped the ox's leg. Even though the ox went down, Naruto had to spin, creating a Rasengan in a second as he smashed it right in the dog that leaped towards him. But to his surprise, the creature split into two. As Naruto prepared himself for a counter-attack when he was suddenly grabbed. To his surprise, the Pain that his clone had killed was standing behind him. What the hell? He'd seen this man get pulverized by a wind, nature Rasengan. There was no way he should be alive. As the dogs came towards Naruto, Naruto clone quickly substituted with him, switching place. As he created two more clones that rushed towards the dogs. One created a Rasengan with the other, started to push wind chakra into it. A loud shrieking sound could be heard. Wind style, Rasengan Shuriken. The two clones smashed into the Pain and dogs. The entire area around them became engulfed in a swirling, torrential dome of chakra. Waves swell up as a dome of chakra. Wind blades pushed the mighty water away, as Naruto and the others had to leap away as a shockwave crashed into them. Staring into the swirling dome, everyone could see what the attack was capable of. The Pain and dog summoned. Small, wind blades were ripping through them. Even the other 5 Pain could do nothing as a powerful jutsu sliced into their comrade. So this is what the Rasengan Shuriken can do when used on a person, said Ma. I remember seeing the results on a log, but it looked completely different when it does on a body. Yes, it is really impressive, said Pa. That's not even the best part, said Jiraiya. It destroys a person's chakra system on a cellular level. So no matter how much medical healing, it cannot be healed. A truly fearsome technique, said Tendo. I can see now why this boy had destroyed so many of us. This is why he needs to be captured here. He raised his hand. Universal pull. Naruto felt something yank him and throw him over towards the spikier Pain. And the Pain that fired off the missile, the robot Pain, appeared right in front of him. He threw off his cloak, showing that his body was more machine than man. He had 6 arms and 2 faces, on the left side of his face and the right side. As there was a long blade behind him that acted like a tail, as it leaped forward ready to stab Naruto. Oh no you don't, said Jiraiya. Sage Art, Ultra, Big Ball Rasengan, he said. The Rasengan was gigantic, larger than Jiraiya's body by far. But quickly, the absorption Pain rushed forward and held out his hands. Jiraiya quickly caught the jutsu as it disappeared before he could touch the fat Pain. As Jiraiya fell down like a missile and crashed into him with a powerful punch, crushing his skull and sending him sailing straight down to the water. After all, he was already enhanced by Sage Mode. His fists were deadly. As Naruto, who was still being pulled towards the Pain, channeled wind chakra into his fist as everyone was distracted by the geyser of water that shot up after Jiraiya smashed the Pain's head. As Naruto fired off wind fists towards Robot Pain, as he launched both of them forward at the same time, too powerful, wind fist was extended. The wind attack smashed into his head, snapping it backwards. This didn't seem to kill it. Several missiles were launched from it. Naruto exploded wind chakra from the bottom of his feet, diving and dodging the missiles. As they came towards him, he spun just in time, creating a Rasengan as he dived through the center. Before, he pushed up with wind chakra, then exploded wind chakra from his feet to level down towards the Pain. The Rasengan already in his hand. Rasengan, he said, wind chakra adding inside of it. as a shrieking sound could be heard, grinding and exploding through Robot Pain's chest, as he was sent sailing backwards like one of those rockets he launched from his wrist. Alright, said Naruto as he looked over at Tendo Pain. It's time for the... What the hell? Before he could even think of attacking, Tendo Pain, 4 giant dogs attacking from each side, as Naruto leapt in the air quickly. The 4 dogs smashed into each other as they fused, becoming one dog with 4 heads. Damn it, I thought I killed this thing. The dog leaped towards him as Naruto flipped and burst off with Wind Chakra jumping away. As the dog then leaped towards him once again, as he channeled Wind Chakra into his feet just like what Shizuka did. Go away, he said. He spin, released a massive wind blade that sliced right through them, but they separated into 4. What the hell? Just why won't these things die, said Naruto, as he looked around. Where's the goddamn summoner? If I kill him, they should stop coming. As he watched his summoning Pain, he was over to the distance, standing away from the battle. He created 3 shell clones and had the first one dispel. The other 2 created a sing and started to attack the dog. While that was going on, one of the clones that Naruto sent away earlier was given the information on the shell clone that just expelled, as he appeared right behind the summoning Pain, smashing a wind enhanced foot into his back that sent it sailing forward. Wind Cutter, said Naruto, as he fired a massive blade of wind that split his skull right open, as the Pain collapsed on the water as the dog summons poofed away. Landing, Naruto then turned, prepared to help Jiraiya, but that's when it happened. A bright light emitted overhead, shining down in the hidden rain. The water then started to be pulled up into the air. The ground started to be cracked, buildings started to be tear apart as it was being drawn up into the spear. Doing his best to run away, the water started to be pulled into the air. Every single thing, the ground started to be cracked and pulled straight up, as numerous chunks were floating all around him, blocking him from escaping. In that case, I'll have to make my own escape route, he thought, as he was hoping on using this against the last Pain. He closed his eyes as he activated his yokai form. A powerful chakra exploded through his body like a storm. It leaked out of his skin purple chakra, almost looking at mist around him. The ground and the stones around him cracked and exploded. As his hair became longer, his eyes became purple, his hands and his feet turned to claws. Once it was done, Naruto held out his left hand. A swirling spear of purple chakra appeared in front of him. It looked like a Rasengan, but it was more chaotic. Chakra leaked from it like water leaking from a crack in a vase. Naruto condensed it, making it small and smaller. Spiral Shooter, as he smashed his fist into the tiny spear. As the thing fired off like a beam, the thing started to tear through everything in its path, and the excellent thing about it was that Naruto could control it as he swerved it, sliding through every rock around him. The rocks broke apart like fragile glass. Wind Blast! He slammed his hand on the ground and created a massive shockwave that exploded everything around him. The rocks, already broken apart, they were blown away from every direction. His path, now clear, Naruto leapt away as everything was being pulled into that spear. As he landed on solid ground, that was strange. He didn't realize what happened. The lake was gone. The entire lake was sucked up into that spear, which looked like a planet. Meanwhile, the land around Naruto had become deformed. Chunks of buildings were gone, and all of the water in the lake had been sucked dry. I did not believe that you could escape from my planetary devastation, said Pain. As Naruto turned and looked at Tenso, you are truly a powerful foe, and that unique transformation of yours, I've never seen anything like it. Well, what can I say when you're awesome as me? It's only cool to have super awesome transformation like this. As Naruto's head shifted, as he kept one eye on the man looking around, as he saw the others. Damn it again. The one that he just killed had come back to life. I don't understand. I'm sure I defeated that guy several times, and not just him. Erusenin and I have killed at least 2 or 3 of these guys. How do they keep coming back to life? One of those 6 must can revive the others. It was the only thing that Naruto can think of. If you're looking for Jiraiya Sensei, then you shouldn't bother, said Pain. You might have been able to escape from my jutsu, but he was not so fortunate. What? As Naruto looked up, no, there was no way. Jiraiya got sucked up by that thing? I can see that you don't believe me, but it's true. As Tendo spread his arms, look around you. Do you see Jiraiya Sensei anywhere? No, you do not. That is because he was unable to escape from my technique. Naruto wanted to say something, but his throat was closed up. Jiraiya might be a pervert, but he was strong. he was strong enough to escape from a technique like that. As Naruto was trying to deny it, but he didn't see or sense Jiraiya. I am surprised that you were able to escape from my technique, Pain said. That technique was created by the Sage of the Sixth Path. It was said that he used this technique to create the moon. My power is nothing compared to his, but this jutsu is still one of the most powerful in my arsenal. As Naruto was listening to Pain, even if he didn't know how this technique worked, even if Jiraiya wasn't crushed to death, he would suffocate if he left him in there for too long. Chakra exploded from Naruto's feet as he launched himself. He crashed right into the giant spear in the sky. Rasengan! The Rasengan drilled into the rock, but it was more condensed than he thought. His attack barely scratched it, gritting his teeth to channel wind chakra into it. As he smashed the wind ants Rasengan in it, it did a better job, but it started slicing his hand, so he moved back and created a wind-style Rasen Shuriken. As he smashed it right inside, in most cases, the attack would slice through the rock with ease. His jutsu, unable to pierce the attack, it was destroyed the moment it slammed into it. Naruto was blasted away from the force as he crashed down. He looked up in shock. All that he had to show for his jutsu was a little chunk that was cut away. It is no use, Pain said. Your jutsu cannot penetrate my attack. Are you upset? Do you feel the pain of losing your sensei? This pain you feel, it has been felt by others. A lot others that has outlived the both of us. This is the pain that your village had conflicted on smaller villages, like the Hidden Rain, since the formation of the Hidden Villages. Do you understand how we feel now? If you do, you're one step closer to reaching enlightenment. It will help you in the long run. Now, I'm going to take the Kyuubi away from you. Your sacrifice will help further my ambition. Naruto was not listening. His mind was literally cracking. Jiraiya was in there. Was he alive? Was he dead? Naruto was uncertain, but rage. Rage turned to hate, and hate turned to anger, and anger turned to raw, unbridled power. Are you angry? A voice said. Yes, Naruto said. Do you want to take revenge? I do, said Naruto. Then do it. I can do it for you, you know. Let me destroy this man for you. Naruto listened to the voice as he let himself give in. Suddenly, Naruto exploded. 5 of the pains jumped away, leaving Tendo behind as he raised his hand, blocking all of the debris that came his way. Large chunks of earth as the entire place was shaking violently. Naruto's hands were limp at his side as dark, twisted chakra leaked from his body. Not purple anymore, they were dark. The very air around him sizzled as large chunks of the earth were ripped from the ground. They floated around him before exploding into tiny pieces that could barely be seen. The chakra that was swirling around him gathered as it came around his body like a layer of armor. His skin became a dark purple, near to black. Then the rest appeared in his body like strange seals lines. His pupils disappeared. They were only white. Fingers extended, growing sharp. Feet doing the same. Then it happened. A tail sprouted from behind Naruto. It was just a single tail, but the tail split into another tail. Not long after that, the two of them split into 4 tails. Then the 4 tails became 8. They seemed to stop at 8. Something is not right. This chakra is far denser than a human's. It doesn't feel like the Kyuubi's chakra though. What is this? Perhaps it was his words or his presence. The demon Naruto turned to look at him. He glared at him with wide eyes. It then roared. He tried to block it, but the roar was so powerful, far surpassing his almighty push, and sent his body sailing like a rag doll. Meanwhile, people screamed as explosions after explosions tore apart the city of the Hidden Rain, while some unease went off after he used the planetary devastation. This was far worse, as everywhere people were suffering, running from the explosion, the debris, everything falling. Everyone, remain calm, Konan said. Do not push as you make your way toward the city exit. Konan lost Naruto in their battle, and he had become involved in Jiraiya and Pain's battle as well. Even Pain fighting 2 of them at once. She saw that he couldn't land a precise victory over the 2 of them. That is why he used that as she looked up in the sky. More explosions rocked the village. They hadn't reached this part of the Hidden Rain yet, but they were getting closer, as she could see the destruction already causing, and they were so far away. She had several dozen paper clones spread through the city as they were helping with the evacuation. A grim look came on her face as she looked over. Nagato, she thought. Pain was having a bad day now. Things has quickly turned because In his wild animal state, Naruto had literally ripped right through the revival path as tails sprouted from the ground and ripped right through his body like he was nothing but paper. He's fighting like an animal, Pain thought. As Naruto's moved like a wild, savage beast, the drill beak bird and the centipede tried to attack Naruto, but they didn't even get close. As he opened his mouth and fired off a massive beam, pure darkness that just engulfed the both of them, incinerating them. The connection that they share with the animal path was suddenly cut, as he couldn't feel him anymore. Almighty push! Tendo Pain tried to send Naruto flying. Well, he tried to. As Naruto dug his hands and feet into the ground, stopping himself. As he opened his mouth and another beam of energy fired. This one was condensed and a lot smaller, but more chakra was into it as the ground melted as it passed over it. Hands raised, Tendo created a barrier. The beam smashed into the barrier. He grinded his teeth, trying to stop the beam. It was incredible. Even though he was using chakra to stop himself from moving, the force of Naruto's attack was pushing him back. This is not the power of the Kyuubi. What is it, he thought? He had never felt a chakra this powerful from a human before. If other people's chakra was like water, this was sludge. As the robot Pain fired off several missiles, but Naruto did not move. As the aura around him became more dark and thick, they smashed into the aura, creating a massive explosion that enveloped everything around Naruto. But to their surprise, he was still standing there. He blasted off the ground with so much pressure that the ground literally exploded into a new era of the village. As he grabbed the robot Pain by his face, with one crush, he tear his face to pieces. As the Pain tail came around to slice into Naruto, even though his face has been crushed. Naruto held out his hands in Rasengan form, but this time, it didn't grind into the path. The moment it touched the path, the body exploded. The Rasengan was different. Parts scattered in all directions. 3 of my paths had been destroyed so easily. The thought left a bad taste in his mouth. It was worse when Naruto vanished in a blowing speed. As Tendo Pain used his universal pull to pull Naruto over to him. But he had to cut the connection when Naruto fired off several wind blades that literally tore through the ground, forcing him to flee. As Naruto appeared in front of the human path, human path didn't really have much when it comes to battle. As he tried to protect himself using taijutsu, Naruto simply sliced his arms off as he drove his hand through his chest, down to just the absorption. And Tendo Pain wondered what he can do to turn this battle around. Going on a hunch, the absorption path rushed forward as it was able to grab Naruto as he tried to absorb his chakra, as they thought they could absorb his chakra and use it to their extent. But Naruto simply turned, his eyes locked dead on the Prida path. Slice! He ripped his head off without ease, as Tendo Pain was the only one left. Meanwhile, deep within the hidden rain, Nagato was coughing up blood, his voice raspy. The power that flowed through the Prida path that he just absorbed from Naruto was doing strange things to his body. It felt like he was being healed and destroyed at the same time. At the same time, he did his best to control the Tendo Pain that was still facing off against Naruto. Nagato, Konan rushed into the room. Konan, he said. I believe the situation is lost. We should leave, she said. Not yet. If nothing else, I must capture the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. He is too dangerous to leave alone. If we do not capture him now, we may never get a chance. As he saw the look on Konan's face, she wanted him to leave. She wanted him to leave this place, but she would never leave without him. As she walked over and stood beside him. You should probably leave, he said. I'm staying right here, she said. She always listened to what he said, but he knew there were some things that she wouldn't evacuate on. Especially, she wouldn't move. Have the people been evacuated? Yes, they have. Then I guess I should end this now, he said. The hidden rain would probably be destroyed. But he saw that as a fair exchange to capturing the most powerful Biju. Almighty push! Naruto's body was sent sailing, smashing through several buildings as they were now deep in the city. As Pain leaped straight to the skyscraper before leaping down towards Naruto. As he held out his hand to 5 seconds up, almighty push! Naruto's body was sent grinding straight down into the earth. The massive building Naruto was blown through collapsed right on top of him. Boom! The entire place was filled with smoke as Pain couldn't see anything. Just then, a massive beam exploded from the earth. He used his barrier to block it and sent the beam behind him that eradicated 2 large skyscrapers. Several spears of negative chakra then shot towards him as he blew them away with the almighty push. But in a second, Naruto was on him. He couldn't even do anything in this moment. The taijutsu battle that began was more furious than any fight that he has ever been in. Naruto was an animal in every sense of the word. As Naruto smashed his fist into his block guard, Tendo Pain was sent sailing off his feet. Shockwaves erupted everywhere as the both of them clashed violently, ripping the city apart. Unleashing a powerful burst of chakra, he sent Naruto sailing back. As Naruto fired off several beams from his mouth, Tendo blocked with another barrier, but he could feel the heat cinching his hands as he was sent sailing up in the air. As he was now high up in the air, he held out his hand. As he took in a deep breath, "Almighty, push," he said. The attack smashed into Naruto and crushed him into the earth with so much terrible force. A massive crater about 50 feet wide was created in a hidden rain as buildings were torn and ripped apart. Pain narrowed his eyes, he slowly descended and landed right on the ground. As his eyes focused on where the purple chakra was, buried under a lot of rubble. His eyes went wide because Naruto chakra has not gotten weaker. In fact, it was getting stronger. What made it more unbelievable, this wasn't Nikayubi's chakra. This was still Naruto. Where is he getting this power from? A massive explosion as everything was thrown off of him violently as he got to his feet. His body was completely unharmed. "It seems I have no choice," said Tendo, as he looked towards his Shibaku Tensei in the air. As he raised his hands towards it, sweat came down his brow as he yanked it from the sky. It fell towards Naruto, raised his head. He opened his mouth as a massive blast erupted from it, smashing into the spear, but it did not destroy it. The thing smashed into Naruto, crushed him under the weight. That won't hold him. Knowing that, Pain slammed his hands together and summoned more chakra. A small orb formed in his hand, looked white at first, but then the core then became black. Raising his hand, he sent it up in the air like he was making an offering to the gods. But the spear that was on the ground got split in half as Naruto emerged, looking over at Pain. But it was too late. "Planetary devastation," he said. He had never used his jutsu twice before. In fact, due to the chakra requirements, he had never used it at all. He didn't want to because he knew it brought a lot of stress on his body. But thanks to the power that the Preta path flowed from Naruto, he had the chakra to do it. As the buildings, everything that was remaining cracked as he flew towards the sky. As Naruto rushed towards Tendo Pain, leaping from rock to rock, Pain held out his hand as he blew Naruto with an invisible force that smashed him into another compartment of rock. As Pain then held out his hand as he exploded the ground that Naruto was standing on, forcing Naruto into mid-air. He then raised his hand as he fired off another explosion that sent Naruto sailing upwards. As he slammed his hand back together and screamed, pumping more chakra. As Naruto fired off several beams, but they didn't destroy it. As Pain pushed as much chakra as possible, as blood exploded from his nose and his mouth, but he still kept on pushing chakra, as Naruto smashed right into the planetary devastation. Rocks and everything then smashed into his body in a tremendous force. As Pain did not let up, he forced it to become more dense as he poured more and more chakra into it. It was 3 times larger than the one that defeated Jiraiya. His hands then dropped to his sides, his eyes looked dead, because the real Pain was coughing up a lot of blood. The underground bunker that they were on was now visible because the attack had teared the ceiling apart. Kona looked at a gaping chasm as she looked at the massive orb above the village. Behind her, Nagito was coughing up blood as she rushed to his side. "Why did you push yourself to make it so large?" she asked. "That boy is far stronger than Jiraiya," Pain said as he took in several breaths. "Even without the Kyuubi's chakra, he is far more powerful than everyone I ever faced. A normal one would not work." As he looked up, the Sage of Six Paths was said to create the moon. This is nothing compared to that. But regardless with this, I have now captured the Kyuubi. But suddenly, they heard boom, boom, boom. The thing started to crack as spiritual tails made of dark energy erupted as 2 massive hands ripped right through it, shocking the hell out of the both of them. He let out a chilling scream as it shook the both of them to their core as his white, pupilless eyes stare at them as he opened his mouth to create a massive beam as he started to rip right through Shibaku no Tensei. I, I never, I never thought you would be this strong, said Nagato. I have no idea how a human can be like this, nor what that form of his is. The tails seem to represent the Kyuubi, but this chakra, this is not the Kyuubi's chakra. What are you gonna do? Asked Konan. I do not know, said Nagato, surprised at Konan. I never thought I would use this much chakra. I do not have enough to create another Shiboku no Tensei. I don't even know if I have enough to keep fighting. And his chakra, it hasn't diminished in the least. Konan stumbled back in fear as her horrified gaze turned towards Naruto. What kind of monster is he? I don't know, said Pain. He had a bit of chakra left. Maybe he could pull off some kind of miracle and defeat this creature. But as he was going to begin the battle once again, a soft glow caught his attention. He looked to see the skin around his collarbone glowing. As he watched it glow, condense and became a necklace. It was a strange necklace that made out of a gemstone. He never seen anything like this. Where did it come from? What the hell was it doing around his neck? A loud roar caught his attention as he looked up to see Naruto clutching his head as he was on the Shiboku no Tensei. His mouth was split open and he released a scream of pure pain and agony. As Nagato heard another emotion that screamed out, it was sorrow. Nagato could not understand as he clutched onto the necklace. What was this? Meanwhile, Naruto was in his mindscape. How did I get here? As the place looked like Konoha, a representation, it was his mindscape. As he looked around for Akane, that was a name that she chosen for herself. After they went about talking about the title of the Kyuubi, that was her title after all. And she named herself Akane, after what her first family that she stayed with called her. He tried to find out what he was doing here. He's been unable to enter the seal since a year now. He was fighting alongside Jiraiya with... As his eyes narrowed, Erosenin, as he stopped walking, he struggled to hold back the emotions pouring from him, trying to keep his sorrow in check. That's it, said a voice. Let your sorrow, your anger, your rage flow through you. You want to take revenge, right? You want to destroy the person who killed your sensei, right? Then just give yourself despair, I'll do the rest. It has been a long time since he heard that voice, but not long enough that he forgot it. As Naruto quickly rushed forward, the last time he visited this place, Akane's seal was a small one-story house, with the numerous seals surrounding it, and inside was a singular room. But that was gone now. The house was gone. In its place was a stone pillar. It emerged from the ground like a stake, set to skewer the sky, as it ended in a sharp point, and there was numerous seal on it, and in the center of that seal was Akane, said Naruto. As she was tied to the pillar with dozens of chains, her body held limply, as her arms were tied around her head, as one set of chains was tied right under her breast, strapping her tight. At the sound of his voice, she lifted her head up slowly. Her eyes widened. As Naruto rushed towards her, Don't come any closer! It's a trap, she said. What? The moment he said that, something smashed into his gut. He was thrown off the ground. All of the oxygen was slapped out of him as he was sent sailing before crashing. He then heard a mocking clap. I'm impressed. Despite barely getting a warning, you managed to take off some of the damage by traveling with my punch. You become more skilled as a ninja. But then again, so have I. Naruto did not recognize a man standing above him. Spiky red hair traveled down his back like a mane. His skin was very white. He wore only a pair of pants. His hands and feet were claw, as his eyes were black with a bloody crimson pupil. Who are you? What's this? You don't remember me? I'm hurt, brother. Has it really been so long that you forget about me? You're my other half, said Naruto. No way. How did he change so much? Call me Yami. I prefer that name to Dark Half. You and I might be two sides of the same coin, but we are definitely not the same person, which you're going to witness. As Naruto got to his feet, Yami went through several hand signs as he finished on the bird seal. The moment he did that, the seals on the pillar started to glow. At the same time, Akane screamed in agony and pain. What are you doing? Stop that, Naruto yelled. Huh? Why should I stop? This bitch is only getting what she deserves. She continued to scream and struggle. Naruto tried to rush over to her, but several chains sprouted from the ground and wrapped around his arms and legs. Nah. I can't have you going to her. That would mess up my plans. Just wait there for a minute. This will be finished shortly. Unable to do anything, all Naruto do was watch as she screamed. Red chakra leaked from her body and drifted right into Yami. and engulfed him into bright red flames. As Naruto noticed that Akane no longer had 9 tails, she had 8. Even as he looked the 8th tail disappear. He's stealing her power, said Naruto. He didn't know how that was possible, but he needed to do something. I feel so much better now, said Yami, as he felt the power flow through him. And now that I'm feeling good, let's enjoy our time together. Brother. Naruto couldn't get to say anything as Yami appeared right in front of him. His vision got blurry as something struck him right under the chin. The chains all shattered as his body was sent sailing. As he was sent sailing, he tried to twist, but the moment he twisted his body, a fist smashed into his face. Even though he was traveling at such high speed, his body crashed through a building with tremendous force. Yami then appeared right above him, but Naruto rolled out of the way as his foot crashed into the ground. Your instincts are pretty sharp, I'll give you that. However, it's helpless. There's no way that you can keep up with me, said Yami. And with that, Yami vanished. The moment Yami vanished and Naruto moved his head, the area beside him was destroyed into pieces. You really do have some sharp instincts, said Yami, behind Naruto, with a smirk on his face, as the both of their back were together. As Naruto spun around but Yami was gone, what happened next was a game of cat and mouse. Yami disappeared and tried to attack Naruto. Each attack barely missed him because Naruto was dodging at the last moment. Several of Yami's attacks were so sharp the ear cut his cheek as they passed. Naruto was unable to counter-attack as the ear was being ripped, and Yami was moving at speeds that he was unable to follow. In their previous battle, him and Yami was almost even in terms of ability. However, with Akane power filtering his strength, he was in a league of his own. As Yami appeared in front of him, he blocked Yami's punch. His hand ricocheted because of the punch. It was so strong. Naruto grabbed onto Yami's wrist, but Yami smirked as he flipped over Naruto's head. As Naruto tried to move up, Yami was just that much faster. He dragged Naruto's body to the ground, literally lifting him up like it was easy, as he flicked Naruto before smashing a foot into Naruto's chest. The ear was knocked out of his lungs once again, so he was sent sailing. Yami crashed from the sky right into Naruto's stomach, pinning him down to the ground. As Yami healed, digging Naruto's claws tear into his skin, Naruto could do nothing but scream. This is pathetic, said Yami. To think you have been giving me so much trouble for such a long time. Well, now that I have all Akane's power, you're nothing more than a nuisance. I hope you enjoyed the time you spent outside because it's now my turn. I might not be able to kill you, but I will lock you away in the darkest, deepest part of our mind. Is this it? Naruto said. He already knew that Yami's power was strong when he faced him all those time ago. But he only got stronger, not to mention he now had all of the Kyuubi's power. He had all of Akane's power into him now. How could he win? Now, it's your turn to go into the deepest. Suddenly, something crashed into Yami's face with such a force, his face was caved in. As he was sent sailing away. Get your hands off my Naruto, said a voice. A female voice. Naruto gasped as the claws were ripped out of him. As he looked to see a red-haired woman. He saw fierce skin and bright blue eyes, as she wore a green dress. You are... She glanced over, she grinned at him. It was so familiar, it was the same that the one that he always gave people. Naruto, I know this might seem a bit weird, but my name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I'm your mother. My mother? Are you real? Naruto says he got up. Yes, said Kushina. But the both of them had to snap their head forward as Yami stole another tail worth of chakra from Akane. Sorry, I would love to talk to you some more, but no, it's not time. Let's take care of this guy first. Right, said Naruto. As he stepped up beside his mother, Yami was glaring at them both, but his eyes flickered and looked uncertain when he looked at Kushina. You must be a chakra imprint left behind by the seal, he said. I see now. When the Hokage sealed that bitch inside of us, he also left a portion of your chakra inside as well. That's right, said Kushina, as she went into a fighting stance. I'm a chakra imprint left behind to act as a guardian to the seal that holds Akane. In the event that the seal ever broke or became loose, I would repair it. And it was also done so I can see my little boy at least once. Talk to him once more. Like I care why you're here. You're just getting my way, said Yami, as he burst forward. While Naruto had trouble keeping track of him, Kushina saw him. 6 chains erupted from her back and created a thick wall in front of them. Yami reappeared as he slammed into the wall of chains, bouncing off him and reappearing. Come on, Naruto. I'm right behind you, said Naruto. The chains retracted as the both of them rushed forward. Yami stood to his feet, but Kushina was in his face before he could even move. A taijutsu battle began as the both of them exchanged punch and kicks. She was able to block all his attacks with her chains, and she dished out punishments. Naruto was in awe, but he couldn't let her do all the work. He has to help away as well. Rasengan! But Yami twisted his body. But Kushina saw that as she had her chains wrapped around his arms and threw Yami back towards Naruto before it could go away, as Naruto grinded the Rasengan into Yami's stomach. Yami screamed as he was lifted off the ground, as he struck the floor and rolled for several meters. With a ferocious roar, he smashed his hand on the ground, and the earth split. Him and Kushina had to jump away, as Yami rushed towards Naruto with blind rage. Naruto raised his hand as Yami smashed right into his guard. He skidded across the ground as steam came from his arms. Don't think having your mom on your side means that you won, said Yami. I'll kill you, I'll kill you, I'll kill you. As he extended both of his arms, but chains wrapped around him, stopping him. As Naruto saw that, as he created a Rasengan, double the size. Giant Rasengan! The Rasengan exploded outwards in a violent explosion. As Naruto jumped away. Is that all you got, said Yami, as he stood there complete unharmed. Even his clothing looked fine. I'm disappointed in you, brother. You really are weak. It would be better if I was in charge. Do not talk like you're stronger than Naruto, said Kushina. The only reason you're withstanding his attack because you trained Akane for power. That power isn't yours. That strength is yours. You're just leeching off for power. Shut up, woman, said Yami. It might have been hers at one point, but it's my power now. I claimed it for my own. You deluded brat. It seems like mom needs to give you a spanking, she said. Then come and try it, he screamed. Fine, but don't say I didn't warn you. And don't start crying when I spank you. Hey, Naruto, said Kushina. Despite my words, he's actually way stronger than I am. So here's my plan. I'm going to hold him down. And then I want you to finish him off. How can I do that? You saw what happened to attack him. I didn't even scratch him. True, but that's only because you hold him back. Don't you have an ability that lets you maximize the amount of chakra that you can use? Use that. I'll give you enough time to transform and charge up a powerful attack. Before Naruto could say something, she dashed forward and engaged Yami na taijutsu combat. As Yami started to use some really destructive jutsu. His wind attacks demolished the ground, fire rained down as he sliced everything to pieces. Through it all, Kushina dodged as she fought back with seals and her chains. As Naruto closed his eyes, chains, mechanism in his mind started to clack and crick as he started to unleash his true power. Yami had been wrapped up as he broke through Kushina's chains with will. He can unleash a powerful jutsu that ravaged the ground. She created a dome of chains to protect herself as she then launched them at Yami, who destroyed them with vacuum blades. You old hag, don't think I'm going to let you defeat me. A old hag, am I? I'll show you not to disrespect your mom, you brat. Kushina launched more chains at him that wrapped around him. He was about to break them, but seals appeared all over them. Huh, you see that, said Kushina. Seals, they were specifically designed to seal away the Kyuubi's power. And see that you're using the Kyuubi's chakra. All of that is now gone. As Yami didn't feel as powerful as before. What the hell? You goddamn hag! Release me! Hell no! Do it, Naruto, she said. It's time for you to disappear, said Naruto behind Yami. Yami's eyes went wide as he heard a screeching sound. Boom! Naruto smashed the Rasengan shuriken right into him as he leapt back. The thing exploded violently than any other Rasengan shuriken before, even ripping apart Kushina's chains like they were nothing. Damn you both! Damn you, Yami screamed. Don't think this will put me down. I'll be back, he said. I will defeat you. I will, he screamed. As Naruto jumped over towards his mother. Mother, Before he could say anything, she grabbed him and hugged him. I'm so glad I was able to see you, she said. I wish we could talk more, but there's something I need to do. Before Naruto could say anything, the world started to crack. Because Yami destroyed the original seal to seal away Akane's power. This place can no longer maintain itself, said Kushina. And because the seal is gone, I can't repair it. Then, what can we do, Naruto asked. I'll show you, come on. As Kushina turned towards Akane, who was still up on the pillar, as Naruto rushed up to her. Akane, are you okay? Why do you care, she said. Even though her words sound strong, her tone was filled with sadness. What are you talking about? Of course I care. Do you know how long I've been trying to speak with you? She bit her lip and nodded before she looked away. Naruto would have asked what was wrong, but Kushina walked up by this point. You two can talk about your lover's spat later, she said. Right now we need to remove the seal binding Akane to this pillar. It's draining her chakra. Naruto, you should understand enough about sealing. Help me. Create a counter of seals to remove these. As the both of them spring to action. It was a simple seal, but because it was a lot of them, they had to work fast though. Because Akane chakra is being drained. With each seal they removed, the chains around her started to disappear. The last chain to disappear was the one wrapped around her chest. As she fell, Naruto caught her. So much of her strength had disappeared that she couldn't even hold herself up. She complained about how humiliating it was to be held like this by a human. but she didn't have enough strength to move. As Naruto lifted her up bridal style. Well, it looks like this is it, said Kushina sadly. What? The seal that kept Akane inside of you is gone. That is also the seal that kept me here. And without it, I can't stay here anymore. But what about our talk? I thought we could talk some more. So did I, said Kushina. As tears or the corner of her eyes, I wish things would be different. I'm sorry, Naruto. Damn it, Naruto said. Before I go, I have a few things to tell you, she said. Naruto, you're going to experience a lot of pain and suffering. But remember who you are. Find a goal, a dream, and don't stop. Trying until it comes true. There's so much more that I want to say to teach you. I want to stay with you. But I want you to know I love you, she said. Tears started to leak down his cheek as a soft hand started to wipe them away. It was Akane. As she looked at him with a caring look. Akane, said Kushina, I'm sorry. We never got to see each other eye to eye. I hope you can eventually forgive me. And I want you to be honest with your feelings. I've been watching you ever since you locked Naruto out. Stop that. Be honest with yourself. That's the only way to live a long and happy life. Pretend just brats, Akane said. You're 1,000 years too young to lecture me. I really wish I could stay longer. But I guess this is it. I love you, Naruto. I love you so much. Goodbye, she said. The seal then exploded as Kushina's body vanished, as the world became enveloped in a white light. But guys, to be in subscribe right here for the next part of this, know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And enjoy, guys. I also posted a new episode of What If Naruto Was a Godly Mate, so go ahead and check out that. And enjoy. And also, I posted a new episode of What If Naruto Unlock a Secret Ability. So go ahead and check out that, guys, and enjoy. And yeah, I'm out now. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.